Hi folks, welcome to the Prepared Homestead. This is Travis. Thank you all for stopping by to watch. It's community day in our area for our group. Today is our big monthly meeting, kind of getting ready to set up. It's exciting. People come from all over the area once a month to this meeting just so that they can, meet other people like themselves, hang out together, share ideas, exactly the kind of stuff that the globalists, Marxists don't want us to do. They don't want us sharing our ideas and building bonds together. Anyways, today's going to be a good one if you can make it out. We have a couple coming in and doing a cheese making class. Just good information for us to have. And these people are very knowledgeable, so it should be a really good one. I know, I'm wearing a seatbelt and I'm on a road that's not bouncing all over the place. That seems to irritate people so much. I don't understand why. Maybe it's because so many people have never lived out in the sticks before, where little one-lane gravel roads exist everywhere. You kind of get used to it, and it's 15, 20 miles an hour. You don't always wear a seatbelt on those roads. On the sadder note, stuff that's going on in the Carolinas, Tennessee, it's tragic. I mean, it is absolutely tragic. I'm unsure of the exact death toll. The last time I saw was like 44, 48, but there's still so much to get to. There's places they haven't even been able to get to. So it's possible that death toll could rise significantly. Hopefully and prayerfully it won't, but it is possible. Keep those people in your prayers. If you're able to help out, whether through financially helping out or going there to help with different things, giving in some way. If you find that there's a good legitimate way to give, then I would certainly do so. I know that Pinball Preparedness was taking donations. He lives in that area and he was going to be going and buying stuff himself. I don't know if he's still taking donations. I've been busy the last couple of days, so I haven't really kept up on exactly what he's doing. But that might be a place to help out so that you can help in the area. Because like I said, he lives there in eastern Tennessee, so he's able to directly help. I did hear that he did say that he was okay. Where he was at wasn't hit that bad. But because he's close, he's going to be doing some stuff in that area. This should be a warning to all of us, and I know if you've watched me for years now, every time there's some type of big disaster like this, I say this every time there's a hurricane or some type of major tornado or storm, or the event up there in Ohio a couple of years ago. It should be a wake-up call and a learning experience. It astonishes me, and I'm not beating up on the people that have lost so much and that's going through the tragedy right now, but it does astonish me how here we are with all the stuff that we've gone through over the last few years, from the pandemic till now, just that window, that there are still people that are not prepared, that are not, they have not thought ahead with food, water, shelter, evacuation, knowing that I live in a low area next to a river, and so what happens if that floods? I live in an area that's more prone to tornadoes, so what happens if that happens? Hurricanes, ice storms. There are certain areas that they're more likely to happen than others, and so you should increase your preparedness. If you live up on top of the Rocky Mountains, preparing for floods may not be a high priority for you, but there are other things: inclement weather, wildfires, snow, landslides, things like that is something that you should prepare for. We need to realize that preparedness is not just preparing for the apocalyptic World War II. It's preparing for all things. And honestly, I've promoted that for years, that if we prepare for everything or just for the worst things to happen, then we're prepared for everything. The problem is that we get so tunnel vision focused on, illegals coming across the border and terrorizing Americans, or China or Russia dropping nukes on us, or an EMP or a solar flare, or something like that. We get focused on those things that Well, they're dramatic, they're enticing, you know, it kind of gets our excitement and emotions going, but they're not as likely, doesn't mean that they're not likely, not as likely to happen as flooding, tornadoes, hurricanes, ice storms. Those kind of things do happen. They're guaranteed to happen every year in some places. And we have to prepare for those too and not get caught off guard. Because here's the thing. As tragic as it is what's happened in, you know, western North Carolina, South Carolina, eastern Tennessee, it is tragic what's happened. The destruction. Whole towns are wiped away. The thing is that there's still a system in place. Is that system functioning as good as it could? No. You know, we're worried about, our government is worried about sending money to Israel and Ukraine and yet not doing anything with what's going on here in our states. I saw something, I don't know how true it is, that the Tennessee National Guard is not able to respond fully to eastern Tennessee because so many of them have been deployed overseas to, I believe, Israel, the Middle East. And so we're seeing how government works, but the fact is that there still is a system in place. Outside of those areas that are destroyed, places aren't destroyed. There's still goods and stuff transferring around, and so they're able to get that into those destroyed areas. What's going to happen if something like that happens and the system is kind of falling apart, like SHTF type falling apart? How are things going to be then? How is a response going to look when we're in the midst of some type of World War III, Civil War / invasion, grid down, blah, blah, blah? Have you thought about that? Because those things are likely to happen. I mean, they almost are certain to happen. You know, if there's some level of collapse of services and government, there will still be tragic natural events that happen. We have to be prepared for them. And watching what's going on in the Carolinas and in Tennessee right now, we should definitely pray for them and help them if we're able to. But learn from what's going on and see, you know, how in the world can you prepare for this? Is there a way to prepare for this? What would you do in this situation? These are things that we have to be asking ourselves, because these kind of events are not rare. Tornadoes, hurricanes, ice storms, snowstorms, landslides, earthquakes, lightning storms, high winds. These are not rare events. These events do happen from time to time. And they're going to happen even when the government fails and the globalists take over and all this kind of stuff. So we have to be prepared for a little bit of everything and understand what we're doing. And how important it is to have a solid game plan and to be confident in it, to enact that plan when the time is right, and not to sit back and say, well, I don't know, I don't want to jump the gun. Well, it may not be quite time yet. If you feel that it is time, enact that plan, get it going. And if you've jumped the gun too early, then oh well, you've done a little training, I guess you could say. But these events are tragic, and they do happen, and people are hurting right now. And unfortunately, more people are going to be hurting in the future if we don't get ourselves ready. It's time to get your houses in order and prepare yourselves mentally, physically, and spiritually. Thanks for watching. We'll catch you in the next video. Hope to see you today.